Hello! Yes, look, the snow arrives in Bracknell. Oh, it's like Christmas time, it is, dear. The first. Where is Santa Claus? Where are the reindeers? I'm not staying out here. Back into the studio. Come along. Couldn't hear me then, could you? That's better. There's a few pictures of the garden just taken just a few minutes ago. Look at that. Isn't it lovely? Ding dong merrily on high. In heaven the bells are ringing. Yes, gang, it's Wednesday, the 28th of February 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, where it is very cold outside. Very pretty. Very pretty, but very cold. And, of course, all the papers and news stories are leading with all the news about the weather this morning. Indeed, in the Daily Mirror this morning, it says live updates as Britain under danger to life warnings with drivers stranded due to heavy snow. And they say it's even going to get worse than it is today at the moment. I can't imagine anything worse than being stuck in your car on a motorway somewhere. That must be absolutely hideous. And I remember a few years ago, I think it was the road leading up to the Queen Elizabeth Bridge on the M25, somewhere around there, I think it was, where there were people like 8-10 hours stuck in their car. You know, bad enough if you've got nothing to eat and nothing to drink. But what do you do about the toilet? You know, it always is a great concern of me, toilets. They worry the life out of me. Do you remember yesterday we were talking about a country that is running out... Oh, incidentally, I've got my little meter working again. Remember I showed you a meter on the other computer that wasn't doing that, and I didn't know how the sound was coming out, if it was all right or not. That is now working. I am pleased to tell you that. Yes, we were talking yesterday about a country running out of toilet roll, and I couldn't find it, but I found it now, boys and girls. It's Taiwan. Taiwan. In yesterday's BBC Business News, it says Taiwan toilet paper panic. Why is the island caught short? And it says Taiwan retailers have seen a rush on a rush on toilet paper over the weekend. I mean, perhaps everyone thought they were about to get diarrhea or something. I don't know. A rush on toilet paper over the weekend, as word spread of an imminent sharp price rise in toilet paper. Shoppers used social media to post pictures of empty shelves, this is in the BBC website, where the products would usually be. Manufacturers have written to retailers warning that prices are set to rise by 10 to 30% next month as extra costs are passed on to customers. I mean, what extra costs can there be in making a roll of toilet paper? You know, I get my toilet paper from Groupon. Does anyone use Groupon? Oh, I get loads. I'll show you. I will show you. One moment, please. I know you love seeing things. I love showing you things. It's all very well seeing me chatting away to myself. Oh, my God, blimey. The chair's fallen off there. It's all very well seeing me talk to myself. I like to show you things as well. One moment, please. Oh, yeah, hang on a minute. This, my dears, is how I buy my toilet paper. Look. There it is. Look at that. Loads of it, dear. I can sit on that toilet for months and I won't run out of it. That's what you need to do. Anyone from Thailand? Taiwan. Now, that's not the same place, is it? Taiwan and Thailand. Or is it a place in Taiwan? Isn't that part of China? Oh, I've got unclassified with geography and maths, incidentally. Look at this lot. And I've got two of these in my little cupboard outside. There we are. Out you go. That's it. Close that door. It's a little bit cold in here this morning. So that's it. Thailand are running out of toilet paper. Toilet paper is getting more expensive as a direct result of rising raw materials. What are the trees costing them more now or something? Forest fires in Canada and disruption to production in Brazil are among the factors being blamed. As a result, the price of short fibre pulp. Short fibre pulp used to make new toilet roller now costs about £800 per $800 a tonne. So there we are. That's why They're running out of toilet paper in Taiwan because people are stockpiling it like I do. I told you I had to save money on toilet roll, didn't I? In the Scouts, when we used to go camping, there was a lot of Scout campsites and they never had toilet paper. This is in the 70s. What they had was a piece of string. I don't know, I haven't got anything that's in here. Like a piece of... Oh, yes, I have. Like a piece of string like that, okay? Similar to this iPhone 5 charger. And they would have bits of paper, literally, with holes in it like that. And you'd have several bits of paper, newspaper, hanging from this piece of string next to the toilet. And you used to use that. And that worked very well. Until they started doing colour printing, because the paper kind of changed to a little bit shinier then, and it couldn't do the job. It wasn't as absorbent, was it? Terrible. But this isn't the first time people have run out of toilet paper. Oh no, you may remember Heidi calling in yesterday, and she said it was Venezuela. So I've done a quick check this morning. And indeed, that happened a couple of years ago in Venezuela. One part of Venezuela's ongoing economic crisis that has caught the attention of the international media is the country's chronic shortage of toilet paper. Back in 2013, the problem was so acute that the government was seizing toilet paper factories. Problems of the world, dear. Problems of the world. You see, there's no stories about nuclear power struggles or anything like that, or global warming. Toilet paper running out is far, far more important than that. Although when my mate comes round, you know, I have to have another truckload delivered whenever he uses my toilet. I hate people using my toilet. I really do. Right, let's say hello to some of you this morning. Good morning to Evan, who gets the first message in this morning. Good morning, Evan. Hope you're well, sir. Sent me some nice pictures of Evan has his own observatory down in the southwest of the country with dishes and things like that. And he sends me pictures of his beautiful stars. Now, I should put some together and show you as well. But beautiful galaxies and things like that, all by just sitting at a telescope and looking at the sky. I mean, you know, that's the basics of it. There's a bit more to it than that. But basically, you know, sitting in a little room, looking up at the sky and taking pictures. And there's some of the most beautiful pictures of stars and circular spiral galaxies and things like that. Amazing. Morning to Adam the plumber. Good morning to Tim. It's cold and snowy where he is. I'm not surprised, Tim. Morning, Tim. Andy. Good morning, Andy Baker. Mark Jones. Good morning, Mark. Tim Partington is in the office. His company is organising 3 exhibitions at Olympia and tomorrow. You're getting phone calls from anxious parties. Yeah, but you'll carry on, Tim. You'll carry on, Tim, because that is that like a money-making activity, I would imagine? You know, anything that is a money-making activity continues to work in this snow and weather. Not the schools, not the trains, not the buses. Oh, cancellations all over the place. And schools closing. I've never heard anything like it, dear. This has been going on for a few years, I'll give you that. But certainly, when a lot of you were at school, and when I was at school, the school never, ever closed, not once. I went to the London Oratory School in Fulham. I used to live in Roehampton, and there was a particular hill. There was a couple of very steep hills on the bus. I used to get a bus from Roehampton to Putney Bridge Station, and then a tube train from Putney Bridge Station to Fulham Broadway. District line, overground. Okay, overground. And there's a Medfield Street, it's called, in Roehampton. There's a very steep hill there that buses would have trouble going up. But they tried, and eventually they got up that hill. And then again, coming down at the other side, down Putney Hill, that was a bit dodgy. But they did it. The buses continued to run. The trains continued to run. The schools continued to be open. And believe me, this is nothing out there. This is nothing compared to what we had in the 70s. Oh, we better close all the schools. What if a teacher falls over? Oh, it's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. You know, anything that doesn't make money, let's have a day off. Oh, yeah, I betcha. Teacher training days? What the hell's all that about? We never had teacher... we're not open today. Teacher training day. Pathetic. Snowflakes, all of them. Every last one of them is a snowflake. Can't go to school. It's too cold. Can't walk. Might slip over. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Good morning to Ray Reynolds. Good morning, Ray, who sent in a message this morning. One moment, please. Let me refer to my message section. So much to do this morning. There really is. There it is. Good morning from the beast of Woodford Green in Essex. Ray Reynolds lives in some hard-to-let properties in Woodford Green, don't you, Ray? And it's very snowy there as well. Good. Rosemary Dixon's there. Morning, Rosemary. Ahmed from Malaysia. I bet it's not snowing in Malaysia, is it? Hey? Nice and warm there, is it? Do you get those, where is it? What's it called though? We get lots of rain. Deluge? No. They get them in India. Where you get loads of rain come down. Oh, can't remember what that's called now. Talking of India, I've got a curry on downstairs. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Good morning, Heidi. Heidi, it's her son's birthday today. Any clue for the name or the age, Heidi? Have we got to sit here guessing that, darling? You might want to get a little bit more information for that, and we can do it for you now. Morning, Diane. Jeb. Morning, Diane. Travel update. Disruption on the trains between Surbiton and Wimbledon, at least until 11 a.m. Tickets are being accepted on the Underground. There you go. Mark Cording has had snow there. We've all had it this morning, I think. We have all had it. Tim's carrying on with the traffic updates. Thank you, Tim. Samantha Howard. Good morning, Samantha. Mark Kempner. Morning, lovely and white. But why can't we deal with the snow? Exactly. That's what I'm saying to you. No, not only our school. I never heard of any schools being closed when I was at school all those years ago. Yes, it was a long time ago. Yes, it was. It was up to 79, 89, 99, 09, 19, nearly 38 years ago I was at school. Never, ever did we have anything closed like that. It's ridiculous. Morning, Robert Dexter. Good morning, Robert. A split lip. Nasty. Oh, because it was attacked in Burnwell. I'm sorry to hear that, Robert. That's nasty. Mind you, Robert, at least it's not due to over-pumping that stuff in your lips. Have you seen some of the girls who are doing that, Robert? What's all that about, ladies? How big do you want your bloody lips? They're like, how can you talk through those? Great big fat lips. What do they look like? You see them on the telly. Didn't you? Did some of the fellas do it as well? Some of our gay boys, do they have stuff pumped in their lips? Oh, yes, they do. There's one. Oh, I don't know if he's gay or not, actually. The one who wants to look like Barbie. He's been warned, hasn't he? That if he has any more of this stuff pumped into his lips, they're going to just explode. Can you imagine if you were kissing someone and your lips suddenly explode? You'd have lip all over your face. How ghastly is that? Awful, people. Awful. Morning, Ben Parkner. The argument is that teachers now have to live further away. Oh, whatever. Whatever, Ben. Oh, whatever to them, mate. I don't care. You get to work. I'm going to travel into London tonight, and I shall damn well try and do it. I shall try and do it. Oh, there's a bit of snow outside. Can't travel. Pathetic people. Morning, Ronnie. My best mate Ronnie's there with us this morning. I should be going swimming, Ronnie, this morning. About 10:30, I think. 10:30, something like that, if you're coming. Heidi's son is 22, but you still have failed to tell us his name yet, Heidi. We still don't know his name. So, little boy, 22 years old today. What have we got him for his birthday, incidentally? Hope you got him something nice. Rosemary, back in the day when I went to school, no days off. We walked through storms, no school buses. Kids today are spoiled. Absolutely. It's not just the children. Teachers as well. They don't want to do the job. Don't want to go to work. Huh? Don't want to go to work. Now, I'm going to travel I'm going to do my best to get into my job tonight. There might not even be anyone turn up. I've got a feeling it might be very quiet. But I'll be there because I said I would be there. It's just ridiculous. 48 years. 58 years. No, it's not 48 years. It's 38 years. Count back, Ronnie, dear. Do you want to borrow my calculator, lovey? Having trouble with your maths this morning? 38 years. I'm 58. So 38, 48... 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, which would put me about 17 when I left school. Yes? God, gee, I'll bring it round later. You obviously need a calculator. You're not good with maths. I mean, the amount of money you owe me at the moment. Have you forgotten about that, lovey? You know, £10 here, £20 there, 50 quid here, 17 pence there. Dear me. Here you go. Ben says he didn't close them in his days either in the mid-60s Oxford. No, never ever. Never ever. Never ever. Good. All right. Over on the other platforms this morning. Good morning to Paul on YouTube. Morning, Paul, who says a non-snowy Birmingham. Sean Crabtree, he can't watch today as he's moving to his new home in Sandy. Where is that, Sean? Sandy? Is that the whole name of the place you're moving to, or is there a bit missing off there? Sandy. I don't know where Sandy is. Sounds very nice. Is it a beach place? A beach place. I don't know if I'd want to live facing the sea. I don't know if any of our friends and viewers live by the seaside at all, do they? Morning, Joanna. Morning, Joanna. Woman just interviewed on Sky News bought 30 cans of soup from the co-op. They all panic, but it's like Christmas. It's like Christmas when they fill up these trolleys. Piles and piles of food. It's unbelievable. Oh, I beg your pardon. When you were at school, it was 38 years ago, was it? I can't work out. Can you check what you're writing, Ronnie? Ronnie's my mate there, and he's got this habit of talking to his phone, and then he sends a text, and it don't make sense. A little bit like the actual sentences you're sending here today, dear. I never lend people money. Don't you worry about that, Ben. Nicholas today is 22 years old, but he doesn't listen to the show. Well, what's the point of me wishing him a happy birthday then? What is the point of that then? You made this big thing about it being your son's birthday. Here I am wishing people... I'm going to wish him... And now you're telling me he doesn't watch it. So what was the point of that conversation, please, Heidi? Evan lives on the coast. It's amazing. The view is amazing every morning. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. All right. What else have we got there? So I've had a bit of trouble with my heating, actually. When my mate come round yesterday, I had my Slimming World meeting. My little Slimming World meeting yesterday. Oh, and an email was flooded in as well. Slimming World yesterday, so I've gone down to the Slimming World. I cycled down to the Slimming World. Let me tell you, it was cold yesterday. But I've got this old... it's not old, actually. I've got a lovely orangey, rusty Timberland coat on that I wear, and the wind really doesn't get through that at all. What I do find on my bike is that two things get cold. The tips of my fingers. Now, I've got gloves. The tips of my fingers get really cold, and also the tips of my toes used to get cold, but now I've got these merino wool socks, so I put those on, and my feet don't get cold anymore. So I've ordered... off the Amazon, I've ordered merino wool glove liners. So they should be coming hopefully today or tomorrow, I think. So I'll put those on under my gloves, and I'm hoping that the tips of my fingers don't get cold. And of course your face, because your face is sort of open. But apart from that, you don't really get cold on a bicycle. You really don't. You're cycling along, at whatever speed you're going. If you've got a lot of hills to go down and no cycling, then you can get a little bit cold again. But generally, as you're cycling along, you don't really get cold. So I cycled down to the Slimming World, had my weigh in, and I'm very pleased to tell you I've lost the £2 that I gained last week. So we're now back below target by half a pound. So I'm almost bang on it now. Should be 12 stone. I'm now 11 stone, 13.5 pounds. So I'm quite pleased with that. Cycled back home again, had a little bit of lunch. Then Ronnie came over, and we watched a little bit of telly. Then we went to Sainsbury's because I decided to make a curry. I've never made a curry before. I've done loads of stuff with chili and all that, but I thought I'd make a curry. So I printed off a recipe for beef curry on the BBC one. I think it was one of the BBC website recipes. As you know, I'm vegetarian, so I simply replaced the pieces of beef with cubes of corn, and I'll put those in. They don't go in till quite late, because if you put them in too early, they just all fall apart. So they're not actually in there yet. Probably when I finish today's show, I might put them in then. Okay? So got all the stuff for the curry, came back here, had a little bit of a sleep, got up. Ronnie came back over here, my mate came back over here, and we watched this film on Netflix, and I can't remember what it was called now. I can't remember what the name of the film was we watched last night, but it got a little bit complicated. Now, what was it about? It was quite futuristic. They had flying cars and things like that in it. Do you know, it can't have been that good because I can't remember. Can't remember. So we watched that anyway. And before he came over, I made my curry. So I've put all the vegetables in it and all these spices and things like that. And it's in the slow cooker. So the kitchen is smelling this morning a bit. Now, I can't lie to you. I got up this morning and I thought, well, I'll give it a good stir. It's bubbling away in the slow cooker. And I took the lid off. It's not smelling as I thought it might smell. You know, when I do chili and stuff like that, I know how it should smell. Now, the curry is not smelling as I'm not sure that I'm liking the smell that's coming out of it. But, I mean, you've got to try these things. If I don't like it, I'll just chuck it away and have something else. But, I mean, one of the things it didn't ask for was curry powder. And I would have thought you would have put curry powder in it. There's the spices were turmeric, cumin. Oh, here's another one. Turmeric, cumin. There was another spice in there. It's not in my head, I'm afraid. But there was another spice in there and vegetables and things like that. There was tinned tomatoes. It's the first time I've done it, so it's not really in my head. But anyway, I've took the lid off this morning. Don't know about that. So I'll try it and I'll let you know tomorrow, okay? So I made that. And then when Ronnie came over and watched this film, I thought it had gone a bit chilly in my room. So I touched the radiator, stone cold. Oh, no, don't say the heating's gone wrong. And I think it's this thing. I've got this little thing here, look. This little thing where you can see. Now, it has got a cover on it. But now, if I put the cover on that, all the little numbers go off. And I think I've got a little bit of a problem with that. So I might go on the internet later and try and order one of these. I went up to the boiler yesterday and I hit a reset button. But this morning, I've got up and it wasn't freezing cold in the house. But do you know, it's a little bit chilly in here. I've gone down, put my hand on the radiator and they're not on. I've gone downstairs and the time switch, there's a time switch on the wall by the front door, that's on. So the things, it says it's on. I've come up to the boiler, it's not making any noise, and there's a little light with a little button on it, actually on the floor, and there's a red light on it. So I pushed the button and the red light changed to green and it went click. And obviously came on again. But the screen was blank. Now I've already changed the batteries on it once, so I changed the batteries again, and it was still blank. Basically, I've given it a good bang. You know, I started banging it on the table, and the numbers have come on. So I think that this is failing. So I'll have a look on perhaps Screwfix or something like that to see if I can get another one of those today. There is a Screwfix down the road, although I'll have a look at the road. If the road's it's working, I think that button in the cupboard is like a manual override if that fails. So I'll be all right for a while. I'm not going to get the car out unless I absolutely have to. I'll have to get it out for work later on. So that's it really, and that's the news so far at my neck of the woods. Now, I have a little grand niece. Her name's Olivia. Regular viewers to the show will know she's coming up to 3 years old. She was born severely disabled. She has her food through a tube that goes straight into her tummy. She will never be able to eat properly. She will never be able to stand up. She can't walk or anything like that. 24-hour care is what she has. And she's been a little bit ill at the moment. They're in a hospice at the moment. Now and again, my nephew and his wife and their other two children, Harry and Evie, they go to this hospice for a few days, and the hospice takes over the care of Olivia, and they go and do other things at the hospice, which is quite nice. Unfortunately, she become ill. They were only supposed to be there for a few days. Then they've now been there. This is their third week there because Olivia hasn't been very well. And one of the things she has is a lot of infections. She has terrible trouble fighting off infections, and she's got a little, it's like a mini Hoover. I don't know what you would call it, a sucking thing, like a tube, like a mini Hoover it is. And now and again she coughs, and this alarm goes off that's attached to her. And I have to put this thing in her mouth and suck out. I'll tell you how it is. They have to suck out the phlegm, okay, from her throat, and then she's all right again. Well, she picked up some sort of infection, unfortunately, and has been fighting for her life, actually, in the hospice. That was yesterday. On on Monday, the doctors weren't very hopeful. They thought she was going to disappear to another place up there. However, she has stabilised, and she has slightly, very, very slightly improved. So fingers crossed there. And I did put a little post on the website about that, on my Facebook about that, asking for prayers. Whatever your God, whatever your God. I like to respect all religions. Whatever your religion is, doesn't bother me. You have your God, I have mine. Generally, I think it's the same bloke up there anyway. We just go to him in a different direction, don't we? So I asked prayers, whoever your God is, and lots of people did pray and put messages on there. And thank you very much for those. My nephew and his wife will see those, and my sister as well, of course, and her family. So fingers crossed. So that's the news there, just in case you wanted to know about our little Olivia. Okay. Good morning to Danny Gibbs is in the house. Good morning, Danny. Is it your birthday today? I got a feeling it's your birthday. Did I see it was your birthday this morning or not? I'm not quite sure if it's your birthday. Morning, Adam. Adam the plumber's there. Morning, Adam. Who says it snowed again in Kent. He's in Kent. Thank you very much. Here's one for you. Oh, hang on. Been looking online at the O2 to go and see the Muppets. Oh, really? Because Royston used to love them as he was a kid. £45 a ticket and £150 front seat tickets to go and see the Muppets. Oh, mate, you can buy an entire set of puppets for that, love. That's a lot of money. A lot of money to go and see a show and £150. Mind you, when Manilow was on in the O2, I paid £600 for a front row ticket a few years ago, yeah. He's back in September. The front row tickets are now £800 or £900. I'm not paying that. I don't care who you are. I'm not paying £900 to go and sit in the front row. That's outrageous. Outrageous. It won't be him setting the prices, I don't think. I think it's I don't know if it's the O2 or the promoters who set the prices. I don't know who does that. But £900 to sit in the front row of us. No, I don't think so. Tim says the Muppets were on Heart Radio. Heart Radio. See, that's not my cup of tea, Heart Radio, Tim. It's very, it's heavily formatted. It's heavily formatted. We like a bit of excitement, dear. A little bit of worry. A little bit of, what is something going to go wrong next, I mean, you're probably watching this, hoping that I'm going to suddenly die or something like that on air, aren't you? There's always that chance. Whereas on Heart, that'll probably never happen. Boring, isn't it? All right? Ray says, we walked to school every day in a big freeze of 1963. That's when I was born, which lasted nearly 3 months when I was 15. The telephone and mains wires drooped across the roads as they were thick as ship's ropes and became too heavy with snow and frost and sometimes exploded and fell to the ground. You could drive a car over the lake in Whipps Cross, Leighton. The ice was so thick. Well, yeah, I mean, when I used to work for BT, we used to have to climb up the telegraph poles, and you'd have to chip ice off the pole is like that, and so you put a ladder up about 3/4 of the way, and then there are steps from that part on, and you'd have to chip the ice off the steps, otherwise your foot would just slip off them. But BT were very, very good to their engineers. They provided all the safety clothing, boots. Did they provide boots? I can't remember if they provided boots, but they had a beautiful coat that was so warm, and gloves and things like that. They were wonderful, they were. Thank you, Ben. Coriander, correct. And Ronnie says garin masala. They were the two other spices in there. Thank you, both of you there, Ben and Ronnie, correcting me with the other spices that are in the curry thing. I'm not sure, but I'll give it a little taste later on, and I'll let you know about that tomorrow. Okay. Good. There we are. Let me just catch up with everything there. Paul says, I remember we went to school one day in Birmingham. The boilers packed in and we still had to go. Oh, yeah, you would have had to. We used to go camping in this weather. I kid you not. We used to go camping at a place called Buckmore Park, which actually I think is in Kent. And it would be like this. There would be snow on the ground and we would sleep in this big like hut type dormitory and there was no heating in the hut. I'm not joking. There was no heat. And I remember being in my sleeping bag, and you only had the one sleep. It's not like you had like a sleeping bag and a couple of blankets. Oh no. You had a sleeping bag. That was it. It was a sleeping bag. And you'd be in that, and I would be cold in that. I don't know how any of us got to sleep. I used to sleep head to head with my, head with my friend Philip. He used to sleep like his head was there. Do you see what I mean? Like on bunk beds like that. So they'd all be joined together, wouldn't they? So you'd have a bed there, a bed there, a bed there, and then a bed there, a bed there. We'd just chat most of the night, and then we'd fall asleep. But so cold. My God, it was cold then. Thank you. Coriander is one. Oh, is it coriander? Is the other one? That's the little green one, isn't coriander? The spices there. Yes. Okay. Can I just read you out this email that Chris Lott sent in on Friday? Actually, I've skipped past this somehow. Sorry to have missed you out. And Chris says, shocking. The things I learned watching your videos, such as, if I ever visit and use your bathroom, I have to make sure to wear waterproof socks just in case you weed on the floor from the night before. Well, these things happen, Chris. It's life, dear. I'm not polishing everything off just so it looks good. I'll tell you how it is. You know, this is not like watching some fake show like The Only Way is Essex, where they all pretend to be really filthy rich and have all got this and... Oh, no, this is life in the raw, Mr. Lotz. Life in the raw. That's what it is. Anyway, the email is about your back issues. Now, I'm pleased to tell you, my back is a lot better this morning. There is a slight twinge, but nothing like it was last week, and I'm able now to walk around properly, and my legs have stopped aching because I've gone back to walking as I used to walk, you see. The email is about your back issues. Have you ever tried the TENS unit? TENS. I haven't either had until this year, and I was very, very sceptical of it. I don't know if Ronnie's still with us. You might want to listen to this, Ronnie, as well. It's amazing. At first, it's very weird. But once you get past the weirdness, you'll be amazed how well your back feels. If I go on a long drive, my lower back starts freaking out. Now, I have to say, I get a bit uncomfortable on long drives as well. But if I hook up my TENS unit, I can drive all day and I have no issues. And he says, what is a TENS unit? Here's a link on Amazon for one. It's amazing. Keep on being amazing. That's from the lovely Chris in the USA. You've been with the show some years now as well, haven't you? So I've looked it up on Amazon. They're not expensive. It's in dollars. I presume you can get it here in the UK as well. $26.99, so 33, 34 pounds, something like that. It says this item does not ship to the UK. Right. Please check other sellers who may ship internationally. Okay. Now, it says it looks a bit like a mobile phone, and it's got 4 wires and 4 pads attached to it. So it's some sort of electric shock thing, I think. It says 3 powerful pulse stimulation modes, massage, beat, and need, not intended for medical use. Ultra quiet, stylish design in a compact, portable size. Use at home, the gym, the office, or on vacation. Screen displays waist, shoulder, joint, leg, back, hand, foot settings for customized impulses sent to desired muscular groups. User can increase intensity or speed at any time with 10 adjustable levels. natural way to alleviate muscle pain or soreness for a comfortable life. And it's battery operated. So presumably that would be quite safe. You know, you're not going to get an electric shock from it or anything else. But there you are. I don't know if anyone else has ever used one of these strange looking devices. It does look strange, I must say, and I'm not sure what people would think of you if you were driving along and they saw all these wires attached to your back. Very strange and mysterious, isn't it, Evan? So thank you very much for that one, Chris, for sending that in. Appreciate that. Coriander is a herb. The spice is cumin. Now, I've got cumin, and there was that other one as well that Ronnie mentioned there. What was it again? Garin masala. It was 80p for a whole bag of that. Maybe I put too much in. I don't know. Because I tend to make more than the recipe says, but we'll have to see that. Rosemary's got one of these things. Rosemary's got one of these gadgets. It does feel weird. It stimulates the muscle. I use it for my sciatica. It does help, but feels funny. Interesting. Where is your sciatica? Is yours in the back? I had it in my leg twice. Oh, it's awful. Awful. If I can explain sciatica, those of you that haven't had it. It's like a permanent. Like I had it in my leg, in my calf, while I was, funnily enough, in Australia on Norfolk Island, and it's like a constant throbbing of the bottom of your leg, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. The only way I could alleviate mine was to actually stand on my leg, but you're sitting down or you're laying in bed and you just can't get comfortable. I think you can get it in different places. I got mine in the lower part of my leg, in my calf muscle. Other people get it in their back and different places like that. But it's a very unpleasant thing, really. And I don't think they've got any answers for that one. What else have I got here? One moment, please. This story here I picked out of the Daily Mirror this morning. And in one case, it's a bit sad, but in the other case, you think, well, there must be more to this. And it's about Benidorm star Bobby Nutt. Now, Benidorm returns tonight, I'm pleased to say, on ITV, I think at 9 o'clock. It might be 8 o'clock, but I think it's 9 o'clock, okay? So I can't wait. I can't wait for the new series of Benidorm start at night at 9 o'clock. I shall have my recorder whirring into motion to pick that up because I shall hopefully be at my quiz night. Benidorm and Emmerdale star Bobby Nutt. Now, he died recently. He played the grandfather. Do you remember? The grandfather of one of the families. But he snubbed his 4 children in his will by leaving just £5,000 to 2 and not mentioning the other 2. 2/3 of his £350,000 estate. You'd think he'd have more than that, wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? Being on the telly and all that. Actor. I mean, I think sometimes we don't really understand how much these people get. Now, I used to be on a radio station in London. I did an overnight show, 1999 to 2000, on Liberty Radio. And people used to think I got hundreds and hundreds of pounds for this. And I didn't. Would you like to know how much I used to get paid for that? So I used to go, my show was 2 a.m. till 6:30 a.m. Okay? I couldn't start at 2 a.m. because I was DJing somewhere. So what I would do, at 9 o'clock, I'd arrive at the radio, about 8:30, I'd arrive at the radio station and record the first hour. Right? So that was on it was like a cassette tape. It was called a DAT, just like a small cassette tape. So from there, I would then drive to my DJing job at the Black Cap in Camden Town, and I would DJ there. At 2 o'clock, the bloke before me, who was Dave Cash, I followed Dave Cash. He was a very, very, very famous DJ on pirate ships, and then, of course, on Capital Radio. He worked with Kenny Everett. He worked with Kenny Everett, the Cash and Kenny Show, I think it was called, or the Cash and Everett Show. I can't remember what it was called now. He worked with Kenny Everett, Dave Cash. Then he did BBC, and then he did Liberty Radio with me. He did 10 till 2. I did 2 to 6:30. And then he went from Liberty Radio to BBC Kent, where he stayed until he died just a little while ago, actually. And he was a lovely man, really, really nice bloke he was. And my meeting with him the first time, I remember going in, I said, all right, Dave. I said, I'm Chris, I'm on after you. Oh, hello, Chris, pleased to meet you. I just want to say what a privilege it is to follow you. He said, do me a favour and piss off. And sometimes I think, you'd think these wonderful stars, you don't know how to talk to them. And they break the ice with something like that. Anyway, he was a wonderful man. And he was always very, very nice to me. And, yeah, nice bloke. Anyway, at 2 o'clock, so he would finish at 2 o'clock. He'd run the news, 2 o'clock. And then at 3 minutes past 2, when the news had finished, he'd push a button and the tape would start playing. And it would be me. And he would leave. He wouldn't wait for me. He'd just go home. So 2 o'clock, I'd finished DJing, and then I'd travel from my car to the Liberty Radio studios, which were right opposite Harrods. So I could literally park outside the radio studio in Knightsbridge, and no traffic wardens, no one like that. I was the only car there, and I used to see the sun come up because I did this job about a year and a half. The sun would come up over Harrods, and I would see that from the window at the top. Oh, it's beautiful seeing it come across all the flags at the top, because we were on the top floor. There's no one else in the building, only me. That was it. That was the end of it. And I'd finish there at 6 o'clock, which later became 6:30, and I'd be straight out in the car. So by 25 to 7, sorry, 6:30, got to 6. I started 6, but then it got extended to 6:30 because they dropped someone. And they didn't want to replace them. So I went to 6:30. By 6:33, I'd come down in a lift and I was straight in the car, because you had to get out really quickly because of the traffic. It was building up big time. Big time. So as long as you were out in half an hour, that was it. And I used to get for that, how much do you think I got for that? £35. I kid you not. £35 I used to get for that. And most people think you hear someone on the radio, and they're on hundreds of thousands of pounds a year, and it is not the case. Okay, some of the big breakfast boys are probably. I don't know about. I mean, I don't even know about those anymore either, because like big names like Chris. I mean, who's doing the Capital breakfast show now? I don't even know. Don't even know. Is it like a big star like Chris Tarrant was? I don't think it is. So they're probably not on the money that you. They're probably on good money, but not on the money that you'd think they'd be on. Really. Working in clubs, you were paid a lot more working in clubs than you were on the radio. And maybe it's the same for television people. If you've got like a part in a TV show like Benidorm, whatever else, you probably think they're on thousands and thousands of pounds a show, don't you? But maybe not. I mean, this bloke, he only left, what was it again? Hang on, I've just deleted the wrong damn thing now. Oh, God. 2/3 of his £350,000 estate. I would have thought he had a couple of million in there, wouldn't you? But no, £350,000. Anyway, 2/3 of his estate goes to his sister and 1/3 to his best friends, Michael and Patricia. But his adult children, Angela and Simon, get just £5,000 each in a will he made in June. His other children, Andrew and Shireen, are not even mentioned. He died in September last year after suffering heart failure. He left a gross estate of £365,000, which is still not a lot. It's not what I thought he would have had, is it? He had starred as Albert Single in Emmerdale, played Eddie Dawson in the comedy series Benidorm, and also played Ron Sykes in Coronation Street 3 years ago. But he didn't leave that, and in some terms there, that's quite sad, isn't it? That he didn't leave his children any money. But we don't know the story. What were his children like to him in later life, perhaps? Did they dislike him? Did they make sure that he knew that they disliked him? We're not getting the whole story there. I think there's more to that than meets the eye. Don't you? And if someone, why should you just hand on your money just because they're the same blood? My natural mother. I have my mum. My mum, my mum and dad have gone now. My mum and dad have died, but there's my mum and dad. I also had a natural mother because I was adopted, and I found her some years ago. She died a couple of years ago as well now, and it was her who said, I'm going to leave my money to and she said, I remember having that conversation. I said, I don't know who I would leave my money to, and she said, well, leave it to the people that love you. How simple is that? How simple is that? And maybe his children didn't love him. So why should you send them the money? I think he's absolutely right. You can't just hand it on just because it's the same bloodline. Leave it to people who make you happy. If the cat's home down the end made you exceedingly happy, leave it all to them. Huh? If the member of staff in Waitrose made you very happy every time you went to see them, leave them a little bit there. But if him or her down the road there made you feel incredibly unhappy and they're a member of your family, why would you do that? It kind of makes sense. I think there's more to that story than reads the eye. Evan says, radio and TV not for me. My main research scope hire price is £2,000 an hour. Oh, dear. Well, I got paid £2,000 to come and look through your telescope, dear. I can go around buy one from Argos for 35 quid. £2,000 to look down your telescope. Can I pay weekly? Do you do terms? Is there a catalogue type thing? Oh, Evan, we do have a laugh on the show, don't we? The other one is £1,500 an hour. Oh, well, I bet you don't see very far in that. Can you even see the moon? Huh? £1,500 an hour for all the facilities, fully booked for the next 3 years. You can stick to radio, Chris. Mary says, what's the point of leaving money behind? Yeah, well, we know that with you, Mary, don't we? Hey? Oh, she spends her money like there's no tomorrow, old Mary. She's out on the razzle every night. Oh, all right, Chris, how's it going, mate? Good morning to Dean. Good morning, Dean. Joining us a little bit late today. Morning, Dean. We're nearly finished now, mate. Tim said, it's Roman Kemp is the guy doing Capital Radio Breakfast Show these days. Son of Martin Kemp. Well, okay, son of Martin Kemp. I get that. Spandau Ballet. But Roman Kemp. No, don't know him. Never heard of him. Never seen. Don't know what he looks like. Don't know who he is. So they use nobodies as well now, do they? Capital Radio. I don't know. I don't mean that in a nasty way. I'll take that back. It's not a nobody, but people that. Whereas before you just know who Chris Tarrant, Dave Lee Travis, Tony Blackburn, people like that. You know them. As soon as you hear the name, you know Roman Kemp. Never heard of him. Sorry. So probably very good at the job, but I don't know him. And they got these people because they're probably good at the job, but cheaper. That's what it is. It's all about money-making radio. All about making money on ILRs. It really independent local radio, that means, by the way. Morning to Adam Vilma. Good morning, Adam. Train halted at Stoke Newington Station. Now have to get a bus to Great Portland Street. Weather is going to be worse later between 5 and 11 p.m. Yes, I'm a little bit concerned. I will try to get to work, as I say, but we'll see how it goes today. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure it is, Evan. I have no doubt in that. Thank you, Tim. It is indeed Benidorm tonight, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, okay? Up we go. Roman's done the odd TV show as well. I've never heard of him, Tim. I'm sorry. You know, I'm sure he's very good at the job, quite capable, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Who says leave it to me? Paul Dale. Come on, Paul. God, you're sitting on tons. Paul pretends to be poor, you know, by the way he dresses and looks. But we... I know you're loaded, Paul. You want to spend some of that money, mate. It's no use keeping it under the mattress. All right. Now, one thing. What's the other thing I want to tell you this morning? Oh, yes. I dreamt the other day, and in my dream, there was a massive spider. A massive spider in my dream. And it was stuck to the wall. And I seem to remember it moved one of its legs, which appeared to be in some sort of hole. And it was like sticky as it came out. But it didn't attack me. It was massive, this spider. Bigger than me. That's how big this spider was. So I've looked it up on Google. Probably the wrong thing to do. A site called Dream Moods. Are you ready for this? Dream Moods. So let's read it out. To see a spider, right, in your dream indicates that you are feeling like an outsider in some situation. Or perhaps you want to keep your distance and stay away from an alluring and tempting situation. I'm just trying to think if there's anything tempting me or alluring me at the moment. I don't think there is. To be honest. The spider is also a symbolic of feminine power or an overbearing mother figure in your life. Oh, sadly, she's not with us anymore. Alternatively, a spider refers to a powerful force protecting you against your self-destructive behaviour. Do you think I've got self-destructive behaviour? I don't think I've got self-destructive behaviour. Oh, hang on a minute. Yes. Oh, have I? No, I don't know. Yeah, possibly. Sometimes, I must admit, sometimes I come back from work and I sit in the room and I watch a bit of telly and have my dinner. And then before I go to bed, I turn it all off and I just sit there wondering what is the point of me. Do you know what I mean? Because there's like no family to look after or anything like that. What is my purpose now? I don't feel I have much of a purpose at the moment. That might sound strange to you. I think that's probably why I'm looking around for another job again. I don't feel purposeful while I'm sitting at home watching the telly. Need to find another DJ, another karaoke or quiz night. I do need to find that. It says to see a spider spinning a web in your dream, which I didn't see that. It says you'll be rewarded for hard work. Spiders are also a symbol of creativity. Aha! Due to the intricate webs they spin. Well, this is creative, isn't it? Chatting to you every morning. On a negative side, spiders may indicate a feeling of being entangled or trapped in a sticky or clinging relationship. If only. There's no one in this life for me, I've told you that. It represents some ensnaring and controlling force. You feel that someone or some situation is sucking the life right out of you. Alternatively, if a spider is spinning a... No, it's not spinning a web, though. It's not spinning a web. To see a spider climbing up a wall. No, it's not doing that. To dream a spider is coming down from the ceiling. No, it wasn't doing it. If you dream of baby spiders. No, it wasn't that. To dream you were bitten by a spider. Wasn't that. No. If you eat a spider. No, it wasn't that. And that's it, really. Well, that's it. If you dream about a spider with multiple eyes, it highlights female intuition. Oh, no. So that's my spider dream now. Anyone dreamt of spiders before? Spiders. We don't like them, dear. Spiders. They invade houses. I've got my bedroom windows open at the moment, actually. We like to have a good airing to let the stench out. I have to let the stench out in the morning, don't we, eh? Alrighty. Good bum. Okay, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. Then I shall be walking up to the swimming pool. Now, tonight, fingers crossed, I'll be hosting the quiz tonight. Remember that? There it is. At the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street, Islington. 8:30 is quiz time, as always, this evening, boys and girls. I promise I will do my best to get there this evening. Okay, it would have to be really bad for me not to try and get there. All right, so there it is tonight. Birthday time. Happy birthday this morning to Mr. Danny Gibbs. Happy birthday, Danny. Reaches the big 40 today. Happy birthday to you, Danny. 40 is a fantastic age, Danny. It really is. I was quite happy at 40. I was very, very happy at 40. Happy birthday to you, Danny. I can't believe I was 40 15 years ago. And I remember that age ticking over. Oh, my God, I'm going to be 40. Now I'm 55. How's that happen? Lucky to be here, dear. Happy birthday, Danny, 40 today. Simon Dixon, looking very cool with the glasses on. Good morning, Simon. Happy birthday to you. Otis Baxter is a young 48 today. Hello, Otis. Long time since I saw you in the Two Brewers there when I used to work there. I don't work there anymore. I left about 6 months ago now. So happy birthday, Otis. Darren Hodson. Good morning, Darren. Still looking as butch as ever, Darren. Trevor Lloyd is a young 70 today. Happy birthday, Trevor. Nick Bedford, 45 years old today. Chris Cronin, happy birthday to you, sir. Brandon Johnson is 22 years old today. Little Branston. Brandon, happy birthday, Brandon. Claricea. I think it's Claricea Angeloni. Hang on, Claricea. Claricea, I think that's how you say it. Angeloni. Are you the lady in Manchester who I met when I was doing a little bit of DJing up there a few years ago? 43 years old today. Happy birthday to you. Andrew Debert is 54 today. Nancy Minga, 30 years old today. Gloria Goldberg. I love your name, Gloria. Young, 42 years old today. Coming to Solitario, what a beautiful surname. 48 years old today. And Simon, is that Simon Courtelling? Simon Courtelling, I think you're the one who used to come to the karaoke at Sydenham. It's his birthday as well today. Lot of difficult names to pronounce this morning, wasn't there? Oh my word. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays. Paul says there's a bloke on skis now in central London on Sky News. Don't you just hate these weirdos? What's all that about, eh? Skiing in London. Ow! Can you just imagine the amount of people they're going to knock over trying to ski through London? Idiots. Thank you, Evan, who is going to let me look through his telescopes for free. Aren't you? I'll just have to do a full report on that. Thank you, Evan. Paul's got something tattooed on his bum. Send us a picture, Paul. We'll show it to everyone else, all right? There we are. That's it for the show today. Once again, don't forget, join us for the Quiz of the Week tonight. Quiz of the Week tonight at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street, Islington, starting at 8:30. I should do my absolute best to get there. Please turn up. Don't let me sit there on my own. Please don't let me travel through this terrible weather for no one to be there. So come along tonight, King's Head Theatre Bar, Upper Street, Islington, for today's quiz. Have a lovely day. Thanks very much for joining us on this show today. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed talking to you. I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.